Budget, fellas. It's another Monday, and Monday, as usual, is self-improvement Monday because Budget Yu-Gi-Oh is not only spending less money in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's also about improving ourselves to further develop our Yu-Gi-Oh skills. And today we are gonna be talking about strategic thinking. A good duelist plays the hand in front of them. However, a great duelist thinks 3 steps or turns ahead. In Yu-Gi-Oh, turn 0, the opponent can't interact with you. So it's best to understand your lines and how to navigate your hands despite interactions your opponent may have. This is how you think of multiple steps ahead. What if this happened? What if that happened? What can I do to navigate past the opponent's attempt to disrupt my board? This is how far you think, because one wrong move can cost you an entire duel, and I will be showcasing some of that perfect example for you guys coming up. So just bear with me. Just bear with me. A great duelist knows or don't blow their resources. They set up for the grind game. Yes, because the middle game is key. The middle game is key because it's gonna set you up for that end game where you are gonna have so much advantage over the opponent that it is clearly a win for you. A great duelist, they read the opponent line and they make the micro decisions that pays off later. And this is what I said. From the onset of the opening, you think multiple steps ahead, multiple turns ahead. You play for the grind game, and with the perfect grind game, you are gonna set the perfect end game because the decisions you made early on will clearly set pathway for the end game, because long-term thinking is the perfect strategy. A great duelist thinks of or prepares for the disruption because you have to anticipate any obstacle that will come your way. This is how Yu-Gi-Oh is. This is not Pokemon. Your opponent plays during your turn, and sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh the opponent plays more during your turn than their turn, which is quite crazy, I'm telling you. So you have to anticipate any setback and prepare for contingencies, because this is what Yu-Gi-Oh is. If you're going to Yu-Gi-Oh playing on autopilot, then yeah, it won't end well. You have to think of navigating for interruptions. You have to think of later on. One play you can make now can affect you 6 turns later because you took the wrong path. You didn't read the opponent lines and you didn't make the perfect adjustments to interact with the opponent later on. Alright guys, let's do a quick demonstration of what was discussed earlier. This here is the ultimate Drytron hand. If you're a Drytron player, clearly you understand this is one of the best hands a Drytron player can receive. Clearly. But from here, we are gonna discuss the difference between a good and a great player. A good player will see this hand and think of, bro, I am gonna combo off like crazy because we are flexing with this hand. However, a great player is gonna analyze his hand and analyze the approach the opponent might take in terms of interruptions or disruptions for his hand. They are gonna be thinking of the lines. What lines can the opponent take to interrupt? What can the opponent do here to disrupt my entire play? Because I'm telling you, one card, one play can disrupt this entire hand, despite how legendary this hand is. One card can destroy it. A normal player would just rush. Ooh, I'm gonna activate. I'm gonna go full combo. This is GG's. We just want a YCS. We just want a YCS. I'm gonna activate the effect of Alpha and go into the Ben 10 because you know we can extend. We have Ben 10 as folder and a search also, which we can search our fairies and extend our combos. But boom, they are leaving one important aspect: the opponent. What line can the opponent take? If you know, let me know in the comment section. What line or what play can the opponent do here to disrupt this entire board? Because a great duelist will be thinking of multiple. There's Nibiru, there's Ash Blossom, there's Droll, there's Impulse. There are multiple cards that can be activated here to destroy the play. However, one of them can kill the entire. What do you think this card is? And if you said it was Droll, you are correct. Definitely. Alright, let's see this line here. The good duelist goes off on this line right here. They get Droll. This ends the turn. Because now there's no search with Ben 10, there's no search with Zeta, there's no search with Fafnir. everything ends. It doesn't matter. With Drytron, if you don't have any of the ritual materials, either the ritual monster or the ritual spell, and you cannot put a ritual monster in the field, then nah, bro, it doesn't look well. You are gonna end on a mediocre board, and given the meta these days, bro, mediocre does not end well. No hand traps, nothing in hand, it won't end well, and it is a matter of time that this is GG. Now, the great duelist would have already thought of this. Be like, our biggest threat here is Impulse, Ash, and Droll. But Droll is priority number one. Droll is suspect number one. This is what we're afraid of. We can maybe play around Ash. We can beat an Ash. We can play around Ash with this particular hand. However, Droll destroys us. So what you do, if you plan to go with the alpha first, the alpha effect would be to search your Mithranos, your dad, your ritual spell, your ritual monster. Because if you get Droll from a hair, guys, this is it. Not with this hand. Because from now on, you can activate this. You won't get a search. However, that's fine. You can go into your Mubeta. Mubeta is going to send to the graveyard your Drytron ritual card. And from here, you can add it to your hand. And then you can get your monster on the field. You can get your monster on the field quite easily. So, as a Drytron player, a great player, you are gonna think of your greatest fear is Droll. It's not Nibiru, because from time this card released, bro, I don't think any Drytron players get Nibiru again. This is like the 5th summon right here. Nibiru back is getting broken. So here you can clearly see the difference of a good and a great player. How you think. There are other interactions you can definitely think of right here, right? If you're thinking of Ash, and one of the great plays, if it's Ash, even if you went the Zeta line and get Ash, you can go the field spell line. But here's another play that you'll see a typical good player make, which will hurt them in the end. Okay, like, all right, we have the field spell. We are gonna go for our Drytron Nova, which Drytron Nova will set up the play to go to the Mewtwo, which Mewtwo will allow you to search for your ritual spell. But from time you do this play, it's GG's, my guy, because now you are locked. Even if you were to bring Mewtwo on the field, you already drew, there's no search. So you have to be playing this line and ending on a very mediocre board. A great duelist would see this. They would say, you know what, I'm gonna start this with Drytron Fastness, and I'm gonna search my ritual spell card. If we get Droll, we are fine. If this gets Arch, we are still fine, because we can go the line of the Zeta, boom, to get our search for the ritual spell, and they are all good, guys. This is the difference between a good and a great player. You want to navigate your lines. You want to understand what the opponent can do, might do, will do to interrupt your play. So you have to think of these pathways so you can make the right play. And making the right play, guys, is what sets you from being just a good amateur, good duelist, to a great, outstanding, fantastic